Hey everyone, it's Seth Rudetsky here. When he cries, Seth leaks. After the gym, Seth reeks. When he closes his eyes, Seth peeks. And for the next hour or so, Seth speaks. I've got a lot to say. Big enthusiasm. Okay, if you want to be in this enthusiastic audience, like I said, just follow me anywhere on social media, Facebook or Twitter, and then I put up a thing, and then you sign up, and then you go through security, and you get to be here with the live audience. So at Seth Rudetsky, anything. I literally took a red eye, so exhausted, so I have nothing really to say in segment one except for I'm so effing tired, but I will promote myself. So I will say, Sunday, March 8th, get to Philadelphia. I'm doing my show Deconstructing Broadway in Philadelphia for the Jewish Federation of Greater Philadelphia. It's Sunday, March 8th, and speaking of Jewish Federation of Greater Philadelphia, Jackie Hoppin, my favorite joke she talks about, she did a similar gig, but it's for B'nai B'rith. And she said, after the show, a woman came up to her and said, "Can I say something?" Which is Jewish for, "I'm gonna say something." Anyway, I'll be back. Peace out.
I'm singing from here. I'm singing from here.
You're singing from here and from here.
Yee, I'm singing from here. You know me.
I just want to make sure it's
Yeah.
the old mask.
Oh God!
Okay.
Warm up.
Do we wear
Great.
these things?
You don't have to. It's not amazing hearing here, but it should be okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Are we on as we stand the booze? Okay. Here we go. Hi everyone, it's Seth Rudetsky back here on Seth Speaks on the old Sirius XM. In terms of musicals, people give this a 10. It's Andrew, Conor, and Kate, the gang, John and Jen. Terribly. Okay, so Andrew is here judging my lyricking. Andrew is the composer and lyricist of John and Jen and Addams Family and Wild Party. Very exciting music about Wild Party. We'll discuss it later. We have Kate Baldwin, who I've known forever, and Conor Ryan, who I've not met before, but who is also Irish. Start doing a little dance. Okay, so Andrew Lippa, since you wrote the show, why don't you describe what John and Jen is?
John and Jen is my first musical. I wrote it with Tom Greenwald, and it happened 20 years ago here in New York. It's the story of a woman named Jen and the two Johns in her life, her brother and then her son. And Conor plays both of those characters. Takes place over 40 years.
Nelson's Great Gardens. Okay, yes, and it ran originally with, it was Carolee
Carmello and James Ludwig at the Lambs Theater. And the day we made the recording, 20 years ago, can I tell that story?
I was going to say.
The day. Oh my God!
I knew it was that day.
Okay, the day we made the recording. So Seth was my sub. Thank you. Seth was the sub pianist for me. Never. The first rule of subbing is never hire somebody better than you. So I was in trouble already.
Okay, that's total
And
vibe.
no, it's nice of me, wasn't it? That was a nice thing to say.
Yeah, it was nice.
And thank you. And I was the associate music director for Patti LuPone's concert act at the Walter Kerr in 1995, and Seth was my sub. And we had this issue with the keyboard, that the keyboard would, for some reason, mysteriously jump 3 octaves, and all of the patches in the keyboard would jump 3 octaves. Remember this? And so I said, it won't happen the night you're there, because the night he was there was the day we were recording John and Jen. It was my first CD, and so
And the
I
only
was
day
in
he
the
ever
studio.
took off, by the way. So the first time I ever subbed, the only day, and Andrew's like, I'm going to be gone all day recording. Go.
And I'm in the recording studio, and
This
we
is
didn't have
pre-cell
cell
phones.
phones in
Right,
those
pre-cell
days, right?
phones.
So I gave him the number of the studio, and I gave him the, how to reach me. I said, why don't you just check in with me when you get to the theater? And he got there at like 10 to 7 or something like that. He was there at least an hour early, and he said, Andrew, it happened. I'm like, okay, that's funny. Don't stop. No, the thing with the keyboard, it happened. I don't know how to fix it. I'm like, Seth, I'm making my first record. Stop making a joke like this. He goes, I'm not making a joke. He wasn't, for the first time in his life, he wasn't making a joke.
Exactly. My stand-up comedy career ended that day.
And so I had to schlep down. Thank God it was on 57th Street, and that it was on 57th and Broadway. And I went down to the Walter Kerr. I think I ran. Actually,
I was going to say, weren't you in the
because
middle of
I couldn't afford a cab in those days. And they were recording the record, and we took a dinner break. And fortunately, we were on a break. And so I ran down to the Walter Kerr, and there were 108 patches. And I had to stand there at 7:20.
A patch is like a sound.
It's a sound, and it keeps changing. You keep changing them by pushing buttons. I had to stand there and go one by one. This was the days, primitive digital stuff. And I would would go one by one and change octave, change. You had to do it 8, whatever it was, 26 times to get each one to go down 3 octaves and work your way through the whole bank of sounds. And the stage manager at 7:35 was standing there looking at me like with his arms crossed and saying,
like, "What's going on out
yeah,
there?"
it's like, I'm like, "George, do you want to show her, don't you?"
So
and
scary.
he's like, "Okay, all right, okay, tell me when you're done." And it was like 7:40 when I finished, and it was okay. And Seth was terrified.
I'm scared of not playing my first Broadway show. The first time I'd ever played the show.
And my first CD, and I got back to the studio, and they waited for me, and we finished making the record. We didn't finish till like 11 o'clock that night.
I can't remember it was that night because when you sat down, I was like, "Was that the same night?"
It was. I always think of you in a
God.
bad way.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was so not pleasant. So now, why is this show back? Is this this is an extended run? What is this run?
The Keene Company, this wonderful company in New York, they perform at the Clermont. It's a 100-seat theater, 99-seat theater, and they came to us. Jonathan Silverstein, the wonderful director and artistic director of the theater, came to us and said, "We love John and Jen. I've always wanted to do it, and would you consider letting us do it and revisiting it a little bit?" So we said sure, and crazy. Literally, we said who should play it, and I said Kate Baldwin should play Jen. And do you think we could ever get her? And the answer apparently is yes. And she said yes. I can't believe Kate Baldwin said yes.
I remember when you called me. I remember you called me and you were starting to do. It was like the day or 3 days before I Am Harvey Milk.
In
you were
October.
calling, and I was like, "Oh, great! Is he calling to give me house seats to I Am Harvey Milk?" Because I
I'm sorry, there were no tickets available.
Sorry.
We sold out.
There were no tickets. I sat in the balcony.
But even
I
better,
came
you got the
anyway.
lead role in a show.
Yeah.
And then Conor, did you have to audition?
Yes, I auditioned.
What was your audition song?
I sang a Steven Schwartz song called "Since I Gave My Heart Away."
Oh, how many callbacks?
1.
Brava! So have you ever worked with Kate before?
No, this is my first time.
So Kate, the last time I had you on the show was your last show, was Andrew's last show, Big Fish.
Yeah.
So now that record finally came out,
Yes.
delicious. You centered a Mozzie on it. What's that beautiful, stunning song? I don't need a...
Ruth.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful. We play it all the time on the radio.
Thank
So
you. Yes,
pretty.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so what is it like? So Kate Baldwin, what's it like
What?
performing in a Broadway theater versus performing in a 100-seat house?
It's very different because you can see everybody, and they're so with you, and you
And
can
no microphones.
And we have no microphones
how
on this
great.
show.
Perfect
So
for your
it's
brassy
just
voice.
right. It's just a piano and a cello and just us screaming it out and trying to you have to sing differently. You have to enunciate better, and you can't sort of have those beautiful quiet
Colors.
little moments. You have to just really balls to the wall for like 2 hours.
Is there expression? Is there girl expression, balls to the wall?
For me, there is. Yeah.
Oh, you're allowed to say it? I forgot.
So yes.
Because you're transitioning. Okay, so Andrew Lippa, first of all, can we just discuss just on a side note?
I think it's boobs to the bushes.
Sure.
So all your shows are
Very
like
R-rated.
going so strong right now because first of all, as far as I know, Addams Family is like being done everywhere in the world.
I think that's close to true. We're really, really fortunate.
Did you have a swimming pool in your apartment?
uh,
On that damn show?
The Addams Family has there's several really big tours going on and a sit-down production in Mexico City. I've seen it in 9 languages so far. I saw
was
it
in
Japanese
Australia they were
last
doing
year.
it.
Yeah, they did it in Australia, and now we're the stock what are called the stock and amateur license. We're approaching like 800, I think, right now. So
bravo
it's
to you.
amazing. I just got a Facebook thing from a guy from high school I haven't talked to in 32 years, and not because I don't like him. I mean, just because I don't like him. And he said that his daughter was in a production of The Addams Family, and he noticed and he saw the program, and he saw that I had written it. He doesn't know anything about musicals, and he saw that I had written it, and he looked me up online clearly and sent me a little thing to my Facebook page.
It's
and
everywhere.
Said, it was great.
And now the amazing news is that Wild Party, one of my favorite shows ever, is being done this summer with Sutton Foster playing Queenie.
Yes, I'm just thrilled, and Joshua Henry playing Black.
Oh my God!
Soon we'll get some other announcements coming out soon about casting. It's just a thrilling thing, and I'm getting a real chance to look at the show and make a few changes and do some things I've wanted to do to write some new things.
Take it up a step.
So it'll surprise. Son and I got together last week. Actually,
I already
and she was
told her, I
like,
said, "You better
I'm
not
really
choose the
scared
keys."
about the keys, and I said,
No.
I'm not the music director. You're gonna have to talk to him.
Yeah, I busted her. I was like, "No pretending you don't have a high belt." I was not putting up with that shite. Okay, so Conor, since I've never met you before, my
Yes.
favorite question I love asking is: do you have any classic, my worst audition ever, or my worst mishap on stage? put you on the
Oh
spot.
God, yeah, you are putting me on the spot.
Surely you have something that went wrong in your life.
Oh, surely I've had.
Well, he's only
some-
been in New York City for less than a year.
And he
I
went
hope
to
you
the
know that.
University of Michigan as well, by the way. Go
Yeah,
Blue.
go blue.
Thank
Go
you. I
Blue.
look at an audience. Thank you. Very good.
When you say go blue, did you really literally care about the sports team when you went to Michigan?
Go
You
Blue
have
doesn't
to.
have anything to do with sports team. It's like saying, and peace be with you. It's like a religion. When you say Go Blue, it means God is great and Michigan is just as
the
great.
best. Yeah.
I'm not saying it. Connor, back to you.
Oh God, you guys were buying me some time.
Yeah, we were trying.
It's not a live show, so we have at least 2 hours.
I don't know. Nothing comes to mind.
What?
I've had some.
You only had good auditions?
No, I've surely had some.
Kate, can you please take over?
I've
Surely
surely
you've had a
some
horrible
bad-
audition.
I've had auditions where I have made everybody laugh and not gotten the job. Does that count? Like, you
No,
know,
that's
I
called
sort of
you're
like stepped
talented.
outside. No, I didn't
Well, it
get
was
the
a
job.
tragedy.
though.
You were
It was
auditioning for a tragedy, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
wait, you
it's
mean
where
talking
I
about
auditioned
Medea?
for something, and
Yeah.
in my mind I go, "This is not for me, not my job," and I shut down, and then I do it again and make everybody laugh and say goodbye, and I leave.
But wait, what? Like what? Give me an example. It's too general.
It is too general. I don't want to embarrass anybody.
Oh, don't worry, I won't be embarrassed. Go.
Well, I was auditioning for a revival of a show, and they had asked me to. I did my version of it, and the director said, "Kate, I don't know what it is. If it's like an accent, or if it's like an otherworldliness about her. She needs to be more mysterious. She needs to be like sort of like, exotic or whatever." And I was like, shut down, apple pie,
Right,
girl
'cause her
next
face
door.
really looks like a big
What?
apple pie.
I really,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm girl next door, and I was like, not gonna get this part. He goes, all right, so do it again, and like do what those Latin girls do.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. So what
Right?
did you do?
I did the scene again, and I went, ay, ay, ay! And I left. I don't think it's
And
recommended.
you booked it. You booked
I did
it.
not book it. I made everybody laugh. And then I was like, I can't. I'm sorry.
I think I've got a story that
Okay, good.
may
Connor,
qualify.
yes,
That
finally.
may qualify.
Yeah.
I went into for some version of Figaro in Wicked recently over the summer, and I hadn't seen the show in a really long time, and the scene was this, the scene when he and Elphaba are scheming some escape or something, and they're arguing with each other, and then there's a stage direction that there's a charged moment, and afterwards the line is like, "What was that?" or something, and I thought some magical like spark or something happened, like literal charged electricity, and I was in the room and I was in the scene, reading with the actress, and we got to the part and I went, "Oh!"
That is awesome.
And the people at Telsey just started really
Legit.
laughing at me.
It's so not sexy. It's
Yeah.
just you burned your hand.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very electric.
Uh-huh. Okay, so John and Jen, you're playing through the end of March, right?
Until April 4th.
Oh, playing even longer than I thought. Oh,
Yeah.
delicious. Okay, so I know that Andrew Lippa, you're here, you play the piano. I wouldn't think of playing your difficult score. Would you play for Kate and Connor, please?
Yes,
Why don't you
please.
describe what a little bit more about what the show's about, what the song has to do with.
Sure. What happens in the first act is it's a relationship in and around the Vietnam War, a family where the sister, Jen, who's 6 years older than her newborn brother, learns, she becomes a hippie and comes to New York, goes to school in New York. And he becomes under the influence of his, they're pretty
Right-wing
strict
father.
right-wing father, correct. And he ends up joining the Navy and he dies in Vietnam. And
Spoiler.
I know I've given it away. And then, so it's like the intermission's like, he's dead. What's going to happen? What happens in the second act? I don't know. It's a solo show. I think she does like Irving's Berlin or something. And in the second act, she has a son and she names him John. Which proves to be a mistake because not only is she naming him after her brother, but she's trying to relive the relationship with her brother, and she feels responsible for her brother's death. And so she she's a smothered mother. She almost ruins her relationship with her son. And her son is onto her. And the second act, in this moment that we're going to do, these two songs are back to back. It's the moment where Jen goes to speak to her brother at his graveside. It's something she does every year, but we don't know that until we hear the song. And then it is followed by her son getting ready for camp, and it turns out it's the first time she's ever let him go. And as it's a tricky moment for her and
'Cause
a
he's
tricky
41.
moment for him. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You should see this kid. It's frightening the way he reminds me of someone I once knew. How he loves baseball and hates tomatoes. The way he sleeps with his arm tucked under his neck. It's so true. He sleeps just like you. You're completely in the shade now. It's amazing the way this tree grew. Things get so big, time flies away. Hey, happy 32. I brought you a present. He looks just like you. Tomorrow he's going to camp, and I can't deal with it. I've barely ever let him out of my sight. I know that it's just the start. Now that he's growing up, leaving home, taking flight. You should see this kid, your namesake. I wonder back when I did that, if I knew that every time I'd call out his name, I'd be there again, pushing you away, and that shitty goodbye, and that terrible day, and all that I know is I won't fail my son the same way I failed you. Should see this kid. I wish you could see this kid, but that's just like you. You always talked back. You always fought back. You're not coming back, but I won't let my baby leave me too. No, I won't let him be just like you. Not like you. Happy birthday, little brother.
Bye bed, bye chair, bye desk, bye teddy bear. Do. Bye Michael Jackson poster, bye chocolate yoo-hoo coaster, bye arrow, bye bow, bye room. I gotta go. Chow fish, later on tank. Be good, books. See ya. Piggy bank. By Magic Johnson backboard. By Luke Skywalker laser sword. By really cool stereo. By room. I gotta go. I'm going away, Mom. I'm blazing a trail. So starting today, Mom, just forward my mail. I'm taking a trip, hitting the road, getting a new area code. Follow the lines, turn on the lamp.
music that pounds in my
So
head.
starting
My
today,
dirty
Mom,
dishes left in the
just
den.
forward
My
my
ring
mail. I'm taking a trip, hitting the road, getting the new area code. Follow the signs, turn on the lamp. I gotta go to camp. My house,
My messy
my
bed,
couch.
my sleepy head.
Farewell, third stone on the lawn. Hasta la vista, telephone. Adios, everything I own.
My desk,
Buy chair,
my fish,
buy tank,
my bed,
buy house,
my
buy room.
job, my job.